Hello, this is Mosgrom and this is 10 tips for the starting cabbie. Use pause a lot. To pause, left click, or you can move the mouse into the control panel. Normally you want to pause the game when you want to do something in the control panel, like set your destination by using the directory, or maybe looking or using one of your items. But you can also use it when you get into a panic where you think you're going to crash. Just quickly pause it and look around and kind of assess the situation. And you can make a plan accordingly. You can still change your speed while the game is paused. So for example, now my speed is 2. As soon as I unpause, I will be going at speed is 2. But when I roll the mouse wheel up and down, I can still change the speed. For example, this bird here is probably going to crash into me if I fly forward at maybe speed 1. So if I just stand still maybe, and then unpause, see, I'll hang still and he'll pass me. Pay attention to the destination zone information when considering a passenger. As long as you don't have anti-graviton charges, which are able to take you off planets anywhere, you'll be reliant on spaceports to be able to take you off planets. Now, Yamo does have a spaceport, so you will be able to take off from this planet just fine. This passenger wants to go to another system, and let's say you can travel there either by transport or maybe you have a warp jump or whatever. It's still important to check if it's available, the information about the destination planet. So here, for example, zone information about the destination planet or station is available. When you click it, the information about the destination planet will come up, and as you can see in this case, for example, it says here few amenities. Location has little or no amenities and likely a small population. So there's not much there in terms of diners and traders, but more importantly, nowhere here does it show a spaceport. If this planet had a spaceport, you would see a spaceport icon here somewhere on this panel. So this planet does not have a spaceport. That means that if you take this passenger, you might very well be able to bring him to the destination, but if you don't have an anti-graviton charge, you won't be able to get off the planet because there's no spaceports there. Especially in the beginning, you want to use spaceports instead of anti-graviton charges to depart planets. This is because anti-graviton charges are kind of hard to find, and they also cost a lot, as you can see, 1000 VUDU, whereas an assisted departure from a spaceport will cost about 100 VUDU. It's better to hang on to your anti-graviton charges for emergency situations where you, for example, mistakenly dropped off a passenger on a planet that has no spaceport. Check whether there's an information site available on the destination planet, especially when neither you nor the passenger know the final destination. For example here, take me to zombie food on St. Zand in the Pion system. It says that the location of the destination star system and planet or station are known, but the final destination is not. So you'll have to find a way to get the information of how to get to zombie food. Normally you do that by asking around or by going to information. Now, it may not be possible to find anybody who knows the directions to zombie food. So you should nearly always rely on there being an information site on a planet. Now, in this case, if we check zone information, we can see here that there's no amenities, and also extra indicated there's no information on this planet. So you won't be able to get the location of zombie food from an information site on that planet because there's none there. When looking for directions to a place, it's better to ask around than to buy it from information. At information, directions always cost 1000 VUDU, whereas when you ask around, it will probably only cost you about 10 VUDU. You can talk to people by clicking on their portrait. For example, here in the old triangle bar, we have the owner and 2 customers. you can click on one of their portraits to see a list of things they know something about, topics. For example, the owner here can give you directions to Chuck E. Cheese, or to Parkland, or to Wandering Emu Traders. You can page through these lists of topics by using the mouse wheel, and here at the bottom right corner there's an indicator of what page you're on and how many pages there are. Knowing where places are can be very lucrative, because some passengers will not know how to get to their final destination. For example, this passenger wants you to take them to Hang Salon Cow on Pyogigo in the Kopi system, and they don't know, let's see, where the planet nor where the final destination is. So as indicated by this icon, they will pay a Class B information surcharge, which amounts to 2000 VUDU. Now this isn't so much a tip as an explanation of how to do it. If you need to get to another system but you don't have warp jumps, then you can use galactic liners or transporters. Transporters are normally for shorter distances and galactic liners for longer distances. In this case I'm going to use a transporter. So we have a passenger here who wants to go to West Point on Isakuti in the Suran system. Now he doesn't know where the destination is, but that doesn't matter right now. The Suran system, if I click on information, you want to check this, here shows that it is serviced by transports. So it is possible to get there by transports. Maybe you'll need to take only one, maybe you'll need to take more than one. I can see when I click on the galaxy map about how far this is. This isn't very far, it's only 43 light years, so it's probably just one transporter I'll have to take. Now to book passage on a transporter, you need to go to a travel agent and buy a ticket. Travel agents are just sites like other sites like diners and stuff, and I've already found one here, this travel agent, which is conveniently very close by. You can see it even here. So I'm going to take off, fly to that and buy the ticket. So let's see, to the travel agent. Now the travel agent will show a list of systems for which it has transport services or for which it has tickets. So we are going to system Suran. So this is just alphabetically ordered. So here it is, the Suran system, 43.8 light years. And click on it, and it will go to the galaxy map and show you there the route. I'll zoom in a bit here. We're here at Yamo. I'm going to fly to Suran. Here it will show when the transport departs in 37 minutes and how much it costs, 43 VUDU. So 1 VUDU per light year basically. Confirm the booking. Yes. So now we have a ticket. You see it blinking here for a moment. It's a new item. And as you can see, you booked a place on a transport ship from Yamo to Suran, departing in 37 minutes. Click to set destination to transport ship. So we won't do that just yet, because we first have to get off the planet. For that, I'm just going to fly to the spaceport on this planet. So adios. Now conveniently, I haven't set this up at all. There's a spaceport here. The spaceport is always in the center of the planet, by the way, if the planet has one. So we're going to fly there. Depart, and will cost us 100 VUDU. Okay. So now we're going to make our way to the transport ship, and to know where that is, you can click on your transport ticket, and that will set the destination to the transport ship. transport ships will always be in close proximity to the star in the system. See it there. So we're gonna fly there. Now that will take a while, so I'm just gonna skip this bit and I'll be back with you in a second. So here we are. The transport ship is coming into view. Now we can just enter there, just like when landing at a site. And here it says departing in 36 minutes. Now it will just depart immediately as soon as you board. So we're gonna board it. And you get the galaxy map and you see a transport ship flying to the destination, Suran in this case. So here we are. We've arrived in Suran system. And that's really all there is to it. And I can now fly this passenger to the planet Tsakuti if I would know where I was, which I don't. What is also handy about transport ships is, well, that they also stop close to the star, and if there's any station in the system, well, any checkpoint station, that will also be close to the star. So that will probably be this unknown thing here. So I'm just going to fly there. Oh, there it is. It is a checkpoint station. Oh wait, I nearly forgot. We probably, yes, we were contacted by traffic control asking us where we're going. Let's see. We're going to, what was it again? Isakuti. Well, they just say continue on your way. You could be asked to visit customs, which will also be in this checkpoint station, but in this case we weren't selected for customs. But we're not going to customs, so but we're going to information. All checkpoint stations will have an information site, and then we'll just pick planets. And then Isakuti. Although I just noticed I don't have the VUDU to pay for those directions, but normally you could. Don't fly around with a lot of VUDU on you. If you're on planets that have a lot of criminal scum, then you're much more likely to get robbed when you're flying around with a lot of VUDU. I would keep it at about 1,000, 2,000 VUDU, so you can maybe pay for information and maybe for some assisted departure or a transporter and things like that, but not much more than 2,000. Most planets where there is high crime, which you can see, by the way, sometimes through icons on the planet information as well. For example, this planet, Habat. If I go into system information and then the planet information, you can see here on this icon it says high crime. This area is known for its high crime rate and is potentially dangerous. Has some other things: cheap housing, clone pest, and also expressway, which I'll talk about in a minute. Let me close this. So yeah, you want to keep the VUDU that you have on you low on planets like this. What you can also do is to prevent being robbed is use expressways as much as possible. And luckily most high crime planets are more built up and have expressways. Here on the mini-map you can probably see this network of white lines and little white dots. Each of these dots is a junction and they're all connected through expressways. Expressways allow you to travel faster and without it being possible for other ships to interrupt you or rob you, or you can't collide with anybody either. Here, I'll show you. This is a junction. If I fly into it, see the screen goes all green. Now this one has only one direction you can go in, direction of winter. So this dot here is going to be winter. I'll zoom in a bit. So we're here at Laura and we're going to fly to winter. So we can just press go. See, and now you fly towards winter at a high speed and without the ability to be stopped or to collide with other ships. Now when we arrive at winter, you have the option to choose again. We can go back to Laura or go on to summer, which is this place here. We'll go on to summer. It's also a nice way to maybe explore the planet a little bit without being bothered by ships and creatures on there. And sometimes, yeah, as you see here, there's first of all there's multiple directions we can go in. You can click them like this to select a direction, but also sometimes, like here in this one, in direction of depth, it costs toll. So this one costs 204 VUDU. Your passengers will sometimes be willing to pay this toll, and you can see this when you pick up a passenger, or when you're considering somebody as a passenger. One of the icons will indicate whether they are willing to pay expressway toll. This last one isn't so much a tip as an explanation of how it works. It's about the galaxy map. If you click here, you can open the galaxy map, and you can click on any system you've previously discovered. For example here, Heliod. If I click on it, underneath it an info button shows. You can click that to see what you know about that system. For example, this system shows here is serviced by transports, and there's some planets I've discovered here previously, some gas giants and some habitable planets. You can click on any of these planets except the gas giants to see more information about them. For example here, Bogey Noah. So you can now see the minimap and the directory just as it would appear in the control panel if you were on Bogey Noah. And you can see here in the directory what sites you've discovered on Bogey Noah, and you can click those to set them as your destination here. In this panel you can see what type of sites you can expect on Bogey Noah. The bright ones are sites of which you already know at least one on the planet. You've discovered one or you've been at one. You can see here in the directory, see we know information. So this one is bright, and we know the spaceport, so that's bright too. These other more dull sites are sites that you have discovered and visited on other planets, but not on Bogey Noah yet, but you do know there are instances of these on Bogey Noah. So that's a very handy way to see what you can expect on a certain planet. Similar for mobs. You can see here what kind of mobs you can expect on Bogey Noah. So we haven't encountered much of them yet. These will unlock when you interact with the mob, so when you crash into them, or I'm working at the moment on having scanners where you can use a scanner to scan a mob and it will show up here as well. But for this planet, Bogey Noah, we know only one, a Doutzen Granada. But if there were others that you interacted with, they would show up here as well, and they would also show up on other planets that have these type of mobs. For example, so Bogey Noah has these. I think our current planet, Kern, might also have them. So if I just back out of this and go to Kern here, click on it, info, and then the Kern planet. Let's see in mobs. Yes, you see, Kern also has Doutzen Granadas flying on it. I know it says 10 tips, but it's going to be 11. I want to talk about the item panel a little bit. The item panel shows all the items you have. You can page through it by using the mouse wheel while you're over it. Here in the bottom right corner you can see what page you're on and how many pages there are. You might notice that as I page through it, that this top row of items here remains in place. That's because they are pinned. You can pin an item by right clicking it. For example, if you want to pin your anti-graviton charges, you can right click it, and now it's pinned. As you can see, with the other items it will remain visible even if you're on a different page. You can unpin an item by right clicking it again. When you receive new items, the new item will appear next to the last pinned item. So in this case it will appear here. For example, if I buy this hot dog, see, it will appear here. What else can I say about it? Yeah, the filters. These first 4 items are just filters for the item panel. For example, if you only want to see equipment that you can use that's on your ship, like boosters and stuff like that, you can click this one to just show those things. So as you can see, it only shows abilities and things that you would think are part of your ship or your ship's equipment, like your anti-graviton charges, missiles, phase shifter, lateral thrusters, booster, scanners, and so forth. And this brings you back to the standard view where all items are shown. Now there's other ones as well. For example, status shows all kinds of effects, storyline items, and relationship things like permits and stuff like that. So if I click on this, see, it shows these are storyline items. It shows the fact that I have beginner's luck, it's sort of a condition, I guess. The tutorial thing and bookmarks it shows. And this has further filters, so you can filter further down. For example, if I only want to see storyline items. Storyline items are kind of important, by the way. Storylines will direct you to better items and to unlock certain items for sale at your house. For example, Among the Stars, which I've started a bit already in this playthrough. Here shows information about the storyline, and here in this box the current objective is shown. It says find out about astro scanners. You can scroll through that and see previous objectives by using the mouse wheel. So green ones have already been completed. Here, find a way to identify star systems, and the next one is find out about astro scanners. Here in the bottom right corner you can get an indication of what kind of rewards you might get out of completing this storyline. So in this case it's a planet discovery scanner and a basic astro scanner. Usually this means, but not always, that it unlocks those items for purchase at your home. Some of these storyline panels also show, when you hover over the objective, gives you a suggestion. For example, here for the Birdie storyline, it says go to Highland to Birdie's family home and see if Birdie is there. Click to set destination to Birdie's family home. So if I click it, see, it has now set my destination to Birdie's family home. Here, if I go into the galaxy map, you can see some other system, the Highland system in fact, is selected. Okay, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this helps you well, get off Yamo a bit easier. And yeah, thanks again. Bye.